Hey everybody, this is Manadog with a Week 6 SCU Underground League cast. This is a ZVZ between Sw00ps and DeadDumble. They are from teams Savage and Chaos respectively, and the first game is going to be played on Polestar. So let's get into it. Okay, we have DeadDumble spawning in the bottom right as the pink Zerg, and Sw00ps in the bottom left spawning as the red Zerg. It looks like both of these players will be sending their overlords in the wrong direction. This is the correct meta scout for Sw00ps. He's heading towards the natural in the top left, whereas Dumble is doing a reverse scout, and it's going to potentially bite him this time. Both players are starting with just making drones. It looks like... Let's see. It looks like they both have a little bit of understanding of which patches to mine, but are maybe a little fuzzy on it. Don't really see any boosting going on, at least on the right side for Dumble. The first choice being made. Okay, we have overlords for both players, so these are no 9 pools. No 9 pools coming in here. Maybe they're both looking to play a little bit of a longer ZVZ, or at least an overpool. Not really sure how either of these players play typically, but let's hope their micro is on point for this matchup. Okay, we have no pools in both cases. Oh, wait, we have a 11 pool for Sw00ps, and it looks like Dumble's going to take either an 11 or 12 hatch. It looks like 11. Okay, so we have an 11 hatch and an 11 pool with the gas just after. I think the late pool like this should probably favor DeadDumble. Although he's making his gas before he's making a pool also. So this is incredibly greedy from Dumble. These lings are gonna be super late. I don't know if he forgot to make a pool or if he's just hoping that Sw00ps will also 12 hatch and he's trying to get an advantage there. Maybe he's done some scouting and he knows that Sw00ps likes to do slower, more defensive builds. The worker counts are the same. Sw00ps is taking his natural, while DeadDumble's is about 2/3 of the way done. But still, we have lings incoming for Sw00ps, and we have a pool that's half done from Dumble. I don't think you can get away with a pool this late. This seems like kind of a non-starter. So they've crossed overlords on their secondary scouts. Both players should know where the other one is right now. And because Sw00ps has no vision, he's assuming, well, he has no idea that Dumble has done something so incredibly greedy, and he's just sending out one ling to scout. Sw00ps is making speed. He's at least making some Zerglings. This build from Dumble, though, I don't know what standard ZVZ build this would really survive against. This just seems incredibly greedy to me. He's also started his speed. He's got his first 6 lings on the way. He's not gonna have lings popped until 3 minutes and 30 seconds, just about. And Sw00ps is, oh, almost gets a drone. If he'd been watching, he could have attacked that drone. What Dumble does have, though, is he has a pretty substantial economy. He was not really punished for his greed in any way. But Sw00ps has his lair about 2/3 of the way done. So Dumble is gonna have to deal with Mutas soon. And he's pumping lings now. I mean, 14 drones is, you know, it's a pretty solid economy. He's floating a bit. And his speed is going to be done before it actually matters. So, how many is this? This is what, 8? Another 8. This is 16. This is 8. So, about the same as the one, aside from the one ling that Sw00ps lost. But this is going to be a better engage from Sw00ps, as DeadDumble is kind of walking it out. But the superior numbers may be going to do it. Wow. DeadDumble has gotten away with murder in this game. And you shouldn't be able to take your pool so late. But I guess if the other player isn't watching what you're doing, sometimes you can. So we have a Spire. We're nowhere near mutas. I mean, these lings are just going to walk into the main and that's going to be it. I think that Sw00ps might watch the replay here and kind of be kicking himself that he wasn't at least a little bit more aggressive. He's going to lose the Spire. But I think he's probably just going to lose his drones right after because he's not really near anything to defend yet. So that'll do it for game one. Okay. Let's adjust our scoreboard here. And all right, well, it's not allowing me to give DeadDumble a point, but we all know that he's up a game. So let's get into map 2. Okay. Okay. So I think the problem is here is actually that it's fine and I'm actually just completely inept at this. So map 2, this looks like knockout. Again, I wasn't paying attention, but this looks like knockout to me. Okay, so got our scoreboard right. We have, yeah, DeadDumble up a map. And let's go. So spawning in the top left, we have Sw00ps. This game, our orange Zerg. Hopefully he watched the replay in between these two games. And he knows that Dumble likes to get away with some greed, because that was some insane ZVZ greed last time. Dumble, on the other hand, okay, he's our pink Zerg. He's got some drones stacked a little bit. His mining's going to be kind of inefficient. But they are both just droning, and they have, again, both managed to scout in the wrong direction. I think this scout is more appropriate on this map to go across like this because it's so close that you can just send your second overlord to the top or the bottom, and you can basically pass the other player's overlord part way and find out in time. But neither of these players are going to scout each other first. If you look, it seems that Sw00ps is a little bit more efficient in his mining. He's a little bit ahead. We have both of them making an overlord. Again, no pool first builds here. So I'm wondering if maybe Sw00ps did not watch the replay in between these two games. And we have a patch here. We have 9 drones, but we have a patch that's not being mined. So that's something to look at for the future. A bit better from Sw00ps. Okay, he's taking his pool. Dumble, it looks like, again, is going to take an early hatchery. And that feels like a real gamble here. Okay, so this looks like a build that Sw00ps in particular likes. He likes to take an 11 or 12 pool and then a gas right after. And they're both, I guess they're just both doing their standards. Dumble is also, he's taking his fast hatchery. He's again taking this gas that should be completely illegal. Still no pool. I mean, I don't know if this would go differently if Sw00ps were to first scout. Because, I mean, his pool is almost done, and Dumble has literally, he couldn't afford to place a pool if he wanted to right now. So if these were just turned into lings and he just went, I mean, I have to think that would be the game. But he didn't get lucky with the scout. He didn't watch the replay, and I just don't think he knows that he has this window here. Okay, so these overlords are soon going to pass one another. They're going to have an idea of what's happening. Man, I can't get over how illegal this build is. And he's pulling off of gas. I guess this is like a speedling all in. It's like a very fast speed, but I mean, typically I think if you're doing something like this, you would want to make the first hatchery in your main, because this should not be defensible. You know, we'll see if it is or not, but in theory, you should not be able to defend this really against anything that's commonly done in this matchup. Okay, up. Sw00ps does manage to get a free drone this time. He almost did last time. Can we get a second? No, not quite a second. Okay, so Dumble is switching into Lings a little bit. He has speed on the way. Sw00ps is getting his lair. He's literally, he had probably enough Lings to just go win, but he's sitting them defensively at the ramp instead. So maybe just something to think about in the future, to be a little more situationally aware, I guess. It looks like he wants to play mutas, and then Dumble, as he's hiding Lings in the corner, he knows he's about to be scouted. This is 100% a speedling all-in, which, you know, after how last game went, why would it not be? He got away with everything he wanted to do, and it looks like he's going to a second time. This layer is almost done. Sw00ps will likely be throwing down a Spire just after this. Okay, they're both just building up Lings right now. If you look on the tab at the top, we have another hatchery from Dumble. I would think that the game will probably be decided before this hatchery matters, but maybe not. This would also be completely indefensible from Lings if you had to make spores. So he is sending his Lings. They're conga lining in. I thought Sw00ps would be okay last time, and he wasn't. But I mean, this is an overwhelming amount of Lings, but the engage definitely favors Sw00ps. So Dumble is just running in like this. Sw00ps also kept back some of his Lings though, so it looks like this is going to be enough. The Spire is again about halfway done. Dumble brought in. He's going to get the Spire a second time, which is really brutal. Alright, we kind of just replayed game one on a second map. That's really what happened here. So I think the lesson for Sw00ps is just that you have a plan, but you kind of have to be aware of what you're scouting also. You know, when you've made Lings defensively and you go in and you see that he doesn't really have anything, you know, at least go in and poke, see if you've got some kind of an opportunity for something. Yeah. So Sw00ps will tap out, and that is a 2-0 for DeadDumble. Congratulations on the win for DeadDumble. And that's all for this cast.